don't think... Actually, we'll do this. Everyone gather around real quick. I'll get a T4 box.
It gave us radios.
Yeah.
I would recommend picking up a new one.
Never trust free radios.
There's one behind you. So, essentially, you guys have to defend this little outpost here. For resupply, when we're done going through this, we need everyone to put one of every single thing they would need resupplied into this big crate. Just one. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna miss a kill.
I think if you just put, like...
Okay, so, who's our squad lead? Nomad?
Yeah.
Alright, here's how we're gonna do this. So essentially, you can expect contact from the...
User joined your channel.
It's basically the Eastern Hemisphere. You may have a few contacts
User left
to the
your
west,
channel.
possibly. Not much, but there's a possibility for them to sneak up on you.
I'll be a big.
But here's the deal. Go ahead and take a couple minutes to look around here. If you think you want anything else added to this...
So, when leading a defense, you always want to check and make sure that you're looking for whatever areas that the enemy could be coming from. If it's wide open, you don't need to really worry too much about it because the enemy's going to have to cross a huge amount of open ground in order to get to you, so you're probably going to see them. So, for example, if they were coming at us from, say, let's see here. This is kind of a bad example. Let me look for a better one on the map. But let's say we were defending Hilltop right here, and we were aiming just southwest off in the distance. It would just be nothing. Oh, let me change channels. If we were just aiming off to the southwest, it would be a huge open field, and you'd be able to see everybody crossing into it. But back where we are, since we're expecting contact from the east, the enemy might be hiding in these hills, or in the wood line, or coming down from our blind spot towards the north. And that's where you want to be pointing your guys. If you're expecting vehicles, say we're expecting BTRs or BRDMs, you mentally need to be registering, oh, well, since it's a vehicle, it's probably going to be coming in on the road. Well, is north or south my most threatening area? From here, you just want to scout out. Let's say for all intents and purposes it's the north. Then you want your guy facing north, just in case he comes around the corner. You don't want him getting that early shot on you because your guy's somewhere else, so he doesn't have a clear shot. And if he comes from the south, which is, for discussion purposes, we'll say more open, then you have enough time to switch over and transfer. Now, personal tact-wise, as an individual, you want to be looking around for different areas that the enemy could be engaging you from. From this side, the enemy has the elevation advantage, and they also have an elevation advantage to the other side. So, you want to be watching out for, say, let's say their enemy is coming from the southeast and is suppressing us. I'm going to want to run up on this wall to break line of sight. However, now I'm completely and entirely exposed to the west. You want to have a fallout plan as an individual, preparing yourself for if you take contact from two directions when the enemy is elevated.
Ooh, backpack. The backpack. Do you have candy?
No.
Do you have ammo?
That is candy.
I know. You can't get out of here. Oh, God damn it. Alright, well, I'm gonna respawn and replenish my ammo since I threw the box.
But yes, just to go over for you newer viewers, let's say we're taking contact from the east because that's our expected area. I would probably, as a rifleman, I'm a medic right now, so I'm not going to, be stationed right about right here because then I can break line of sight to the left and shift down as needed to engage targets across the hemisphere. That way I'm reducing what the enemy can see of me. I can just completely block myself, or I can open up more sightline as needed. Plus, I have complete visibility to the south, so I'm fulfilling that role being a spotter. Now, if the enemy engages to the west, now I can just hop off the wall, and I've completely broken line of sight. It also allows me to use the building as a method to pie the corner. Well, not pie the corner, at least, but break line of sight, and abuse that line of sight advantage against the enemy. Now, there's certain intrinsic things that you're not going to be able to beat no matter how good you are. Let's say the enemy has grenadiers. I'm not going to be able to take cover in a way that's going to have that grenadier be unable to attack me at this point. But that goes into the rules of the rifleman, where you want to aim for the...
And suddenly there's a 50 cal that just like magically appeared there.
But yeah, so that's why as a rifleman you want to be targeting the power enemy units, the automatic riflemen, the medium machine gunners, the vehicles, the squad leaders, the grenadiers, anybody with a casualty producing weapon other than a rifle. You want to work your way down from there. Now, defense wise, mines can be kind of unreliable in Arma. Sometimes they detonate, sometimes they don't. That's just a bug thing on a mine by mine basis. You can use defensive charges, but bear in mind that those charges, if... Oh, 5 minutes. That those charges, if the guy who controls them goes down right at the critical point when you need to detonate them, they're now useless. With anti-tank, you want to be pre-ranging everything. I can see we have this current area, and I can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 grid squares down to the road. And it's just on the other side of the town. That puts me at 600 meters for the opposite side of the town. So right about there is 600 meters. Now, I don't really have a good line on that, so anything past that I can say, you know, enemy convoy coming in, kilometer out. My engagement range is probably going to be closer to the middle of the top part of the town. So 1, 2, 3, 4, about 400 meters. And I'm going to use shift click to just demonstrate those. Oh, see? 487. That's why it helps to actually do this a couple of times. However, I need to take into account that I'm at an elevation, so that perfect range is really going to be closer to 450 or 440 because of the drop of the round is going downhill. Now that's well within AT4 ranges if you push it a little bit, and it makes my ambush point right as they come out of the trees. Oh, no, I guess I'll start. I'm here.
Oh, he was hiding.
Yes.
Okay, where's Furry?
Why next to you?
Hey, Furry. Good morning. Can you hear me on the radio?
Another thing you can do as a rifleman.
Rock on 1.
Honestly, just as a rifleman, you don't really want to do this as anything else. Identify areas where you can utilize hand grenades or smoke grenades, because those are some of your power weapons as a rifle. If the enemy has an area that they can rush up on, let's say for example they rush us from the northeast coming up this depression, I can throw grenades over this wall and pretty much wipe them out if they're going to be coming up that way, or if I suspect that they're coming up this way. As a defensive operation, I don't really need to worry too much about not having grenades because we're going to have a resupply box full of them. So never be afraid to use what you have. If you're ending the operation with something that you didn't use and could have used, examine that opportunity later on. That's not necessarily saying that I want you to waste everything in every engagement, but it's saying that you need to be, you know, using your power assets, not just holding them in reserve for something that might not ever come. And that's down to just luck and individual decision making. Now, building wise. So, when utilizing buildings, let's say for example I want to come in this bunker. This bunker is kind of glitchy, so I don't really like using it. You don't want to put yourself in cover that's going to collide with you physics-wise, because then you're just going to have issues getting in and out of it, and that one hot spot, oh man, the enemy's firing grenades, or I'm being suppressed, you're going to get glitched. Oh. Carry.
Alright, let's see if this 50 cal is still falling over the edge. It is, okay. Evans has it.
I mean...
Furry?
So, it's the shitty tripod version.
Let's disassemble this and get it on the roof. What's up?
You can just lift it up there, you don't have to disassemble it.
Oh, well, way too late.
Or, I mean...
Hold on.
Yeah, I'll let
Yeah.
you guys figure that out because I don't know how to do shit. Ooh, here's what we'll do. I'll play with the big gun, and you can have the slightly
Oh, balls, I
less of
need
a
it.
bigger gun.
Yeah, this is why I'd rather have an aim point. Because this is not extreme range.
But this is what I'm here for. I'm gonna protect your flanks.
Oh no, I understand. I just...
I'm not gonna micromanage you guys. I just want to make sure that we're spaced.
Let that be a lesson. Gun assembly in Arma is wacky.
So... So, how drunk are the engineers when they built this?
No, you're good, man.
I feel that appreciate it. I don't know. I don't think there's a better
Has
lesson.
anyone found the M2 by chance?
It sank into the bunker. I'm asking Chephen for another one.
Okay.
By underneath, I literally mean it's underneath.
Hey, by the way, south side of the town is 600. The short side, where we can see, is 450.
Thank you, Evans.
Give that to everyone on the radio.
Evans, you're so useful. Thank you.
So, if you look to the south for the town, because, you know, we can see 1.5 kilometers out, depending on where you are in the base, the southern edge of the town, where the road goes into town, is about 600 meters away, and the short side, where we can see the road again, is about 450, depending on where you are in the base.
Just gonna take off the for now.
How useful is just the red site going to be right now?
And make sure you're eyeballing the backfield. If they attack us from the west, make sure you're not completely out in the open.
I mean, honestly, if the thing is, these weapons are ranged for 3 meters.
We got contact incoming, get ready.
I mean,
Yep, I'll be watching the west just in case anybody tries to get swifty, but let me know.
Swift. I'll be up at the tower and I'll float to wherever we make casualties.
And that's another thing. As a medic, you can guard the unsuspecting flank because you shouldn't be in combat, and when you shoot, the enemy is going to know where you are because of your fire. They can see the muzzle flash, and they can see the tracer around if you're shooting one.
Are we allowed to be on the outside of the Hisco barriers?
And they'll begin to return fire at you. But as a medic, because I have the huge advantage of range, what I can do is I can watch the northwestern area, and if I see an enemy, I can call them out and go to the crouch and just kind of play a little bit defensively, not fire my weapon at all, and then we can readjust the squad to engage those enemies. So that way I'm not risking myself by having the enemy return fire at my position. I'm simply calling them out. So effectively, I'm a lookout, not a rifleman or security puller. The same rule also applies with vehicles. Vehicles typically have very bad optic sight unless you fired, but don't take that as a, invincibility cloak for every situation. If you stay up long enough, the commander will spot you, as most vehicles we're dealing with in the Acts of War campaign.
Shots. Well, look at the
east, on the
apex
hill.
east.
And this is part of that reverse sloping. See, I'm watching the west right now, and the enemy, if they decide to suppress, has a very easy shot at my back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to break that line of sight, move somewhere else where I can still watch the northwest, and remain vigilant in case our friendlies call out for a spot. That's a part of that whole glitchy cover, but my retreat does not involve going back down that ramp along the entrance. If anybody gets hit, let me know.
Evans, you're still taking contact from the break. AR, you're still taking contact from the east. Focus on that. Everyone else try to focus on the south.
Oh, the glory days when I was a machine gunner.
RPGs!
AR, get off the top of there and insert into the middle of it. Everyone else cover them.
there's some limits.
Remember, RPG-7s don't always have to be anti-vehicle. They come with a lot of anti-infantry variant warheads.
Just go to the middle of that HESCO barrier. So
They come with a lot of anti-infantry variant warheads, so if you ever see one firing at you, be ready for it. The first shot they fire might just be an anti-tank rocket that doesn't do too much to you, but the next ones could be anti-infantry ones that'll deal a whole lot of damage to your element. Now, to kind of go over what I'm looking for here, I'm looking up
Are
towards...
they in the valley?
Oh. I'm looking up towards the west to see if any enemies are going to come over the
User
ridge line,
joined
similar
your
to how that
channel.
first element came over the ridge to the east. But I'm intently watching towards the southwest because this ridge line is much closer. So if the enemy decided to crest over it, I would immediately have to return fire, because at this point they're too close for me to be able to just sit there and hide. They will see me. And also, in the call out, if you hit that point, let's say they came over to the southwest right now, I would call it out and then start shooting. Don't start shooting and then try and call it out, because the enemy's probably going to return fire, and you don't want a chance going down mid call out, and all of a sudden you're taking fire, but the squad doesn't know from where, and you're unconscious, so you can't update them.
South or down.
How do you arrange resupply?
It's in the massive box.
Resupplies in the green crate in the backs.
Let me get back my tourniquets.
Could someone point out to me where they're shooting?
Due east, on the hill.
Use that big box over there. Oh, or
I just got fucked up in the center of this thing somehow.
Evans, please work on furry.
You got it.
I need you to touch me. I don't even know what hit me.
Tourniquet your legs. I'm gonna work on your head.
Alright.
Now, as a medic, or as anybody treating triage, put tourniquets on what you can, and then treat the head and the torso, which can't be tourniqueted. That'll slow the blood loss immensely and make my job as a medic much easier.
What's your designation?
You want to treat large wounds before small wounds. If he has 20 small wounds, it doesn't really stack up as much to a large wound. That's hyperbole, but this point still stands.
Having a good day?
Yeah. I'm kind of treating this video as a, somebody is watching this trying to learn more about stuff, so I'm going over, what we're doing, what to watch out for.
Oh, okay, well, if you were taking any type of, polling or, advice from the field, don't fall off of tall buildings. It hurts like hell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Those are the worst injuries.
I know, exactly.
They're the worst ones, because it's like you get shot by a 50 cal, you have 2 large velocity wounds. You fall off a building, you have 60 small cuts.
No, straight up. I fell from there.
You're good to take off your tourniquets, by the way. And I'll let you morphine yourself.
You can't get any morphine?
I can, but it's just going to be yours. Okay, it's going into your leg, so it might not have an instant effect, depending on which tourniquets you've taken off.
I just want you to know that I really care about you.
Okay.
Why are you in her?
Seeing how awkward I can make this.
I figured you were taking cover.
Evans.
What?
I need your medical expertise, please. Ooh, I gotta hit myself. If you can't hit me.
I was laughing at.
No, you're
I
good.
can't.
Cool,
I was just
what are
making
you
sure.
doing here?
I got shot.
HQ.
Couple
this
times.
is 1-1 actual.
I need to. Okay, thanks. You already got it.
No, I'm
Ah!
doing
Sorry.
that. Did I just shoot?
Yes.
No, that was me. That was me.
Alright.
Alright, there's like a marksman or something out there. Because there was some really accurate fire.
I'm gonna see if I can find some.
Do we have access to any binoculars?
Marksman's in the squad direct east behind this whack-ass looking Christmas tree. Is the best way I can describe him. For those of you playing at home, the way I determined that, I currently have 7.1 surround sound headsets, and I just zeroed in the fire that matched his gun, because I know from experience that his marksman rifle, if he does have one, and it's not just a rifleman with accurate fire, it's going to be a high caliber.
Furry, I would implore you to stay down for the time being. HQ's gonna bring us
Ooh, did you see that bullet
some
impact?
nicer optics or sniper system.
We got shit to the south.
Give me the Lee infield.
We got guys to the south in the field. Nomad's been shot.
Bro, it means if I happen to ever go down again, take command. Furry's down.
Okay.
Contacts, man down, man down.
Oh, I got him. Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, he's dead.
Evans.
He's very dead.
Got shot in the face.
What?
Ow.
It hurts.
Tourniquet your leg.
Close south.
Take him on.
Say again about my leg?
Tourniquet your
Be
leg.
advised, we have close contact south, moving south by southwest.
As a medic, remember you can have your patient, if they're conscious, help you out. Mostly with tourniquets, to be honest. Whenever you use a medical object on a patient, it will attempt to use theirs first. So if I try to,
Close south are eliminated.
if I try to morphine poor boy,
south.
then
Outside of the town.
it will attempt to use his morphine first. If he doesn't have one, it will start using mine. So remember that when immediately using packing bandages on an individual, you're going to be using theirs first.
Is it okay to take off my scope and just fire it with the iron sight?
Absolutely, you don't have to ask me.
You're good to
permission for
take your tourniquets off.
that. Only thing you have to ask me permission for is.
And then I'll let you do morphine as you need.
Copy.
You're stitched.
Thank you. Furry's down over here, Evan. Okay, he's back up again.
I fall right next to you, you know, come with me.
Bandage your head.
South is no joy.
Brahmies has been shot.
No, kept busy.
Brahmies is dead.
This isn't the best spot to look out.
Well, it's a
Resupply
fishbowl.
will be momentary at the crates.
That's not
Focus
sure.
on the
Declared
contacts to the
emergency,
east.
starting to use personal aid kit.
I'm gray, by the way.
Yeah, you're about to get reset because I'm using the pack. As a declared emergency, we're only supposed to use it. Well, in situations like this, we're only supposed to use it as an emergency use.
Quan, you up in the tower?
Good job, Rock. You haven't been shot yet.
More coming over the hill from the east.
Yeah, you haven't been shot yet. God damn.
You have to
Oh,
vault
that's
over
out. Yeah, I got it.
Hang in there.
Ooh, you're not looking good.
I got hit.
Yeah, but you're bleeding.
This is Widow 1-1
Don't do
action.
that.
Sometimes as a medic, if the patient isn't stopping for treatment, you kind of want to shoot him, but please don't. You just kind of gotta sneak up behind him. Ah, that's glitchy. Ooh, how do you get into this?
And down they go.
This is incredibly dangerous and should only be done by your local Evans, or Dark Void Boy, or Rhea, or Arsec.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, I'll chase you around until you stop.
You can always yell at me.
No.
Contacts north-northeast, about 300.
Let me open up this hatch.
You need a...
Contact dead north.
Thanks, Evan.
Ah, there you go.
Remember that suppression works, so as a medic, if you want to lay down fire and help out your squad, just dump a mag in their direction and that'll suppress them.
Contact north, contact north.
Effectively, it'll make
Oh, you
the
see, like, 3
enemy
guys?
AI think, wow, what the heck is shooting at me, and hit the prone
fire
and
team.
take a accuracy
About-
penalty.
Less than 200 meters, I'd say.
Somebody's down, looks like New End.
I'm alive.
I got
eyes
north,
West, west, something summon west.
Romines is down.
Evans, can you touch me again?
We are being shot from the west.
No, no, no. Okay.
No, we're being shot currently.
Nope, no joy.
What, on ammo?
No, just low on targets.
Up there.
Contact
that
2
one's
times
there.
direct
And then there's
east,
over there,
approximately
over there.
625 meters.
Oh, okay.
On the ridge, I assume?
Correct.
I'm not seeing anything west.
I think that's east.
They're directly in front of the top of the HQ barrier with the sandbags.
Can you give me a bearing?
Oh, hey, Evans.
Wait one. Break, bearing 109er.
Thank you, Evans. Hopefully I'll stop taking bullets.
Eyes on.
I'll leave your morphining to you.
User in your channel.
Yeah, yeah.
One down.
Contact's down. Good job. I think I got the other one.
What kind of idle animation is 5's in?
Oh, what? Oh, I haven't. Sorry.
It's so cool.
Anyone that needs ammo or medical supplies, tell me now so I can bring them to you.
Core needs bandages.
Alright,
We got
in the north.
I just saw a shot.
Copy, I'm coming to you with bandages.
East at 100.
Fix the bromines. Fix the bromines.
Thank you.
Eyes on tracers.
4, are you up there?
See the trace.
The tracer, but I'm not seeing where it's originated from. Looks like he might be hiding on the backside of the ridge or something.
Is it where the floating?
He's like a kilometer out, too, isn't he?
Not
Yeah.
quite a kilometer, but
He chooses what it wants to send it.
Fix the 5's.
Copy.
Guys, one of our
You are
guys
fixed.
down on the south side of the Hescos.
Our guys.
Does anyone else need ammo or bandages?
Negative, sir.
5, you're allowed to shoot people.
Oh yeah. Oh, I have shot people. Believe me. But I'm afraid that I'll shoot my own people before I shoot the enemy.
This is a good example to. This is a good time to explain what I was doing before. You can see this.
Have some serious eye problems.
Oh, that was
Yeah,
a
see this-
wacky little keybind. But you can see that first element off right there, and the second element right here. If I don't want to be shot at by both, I can just shift in, and oh look,
Hey,
now
no
I can
peeking,
go
you're a medic,
one
dude.
by each time.
North, contact north. Bearing.
24?
North, bearing. Yeah, there.
Bearing 24. They're on the bottom part of the ridge. It's more northeast, honestly.
If you want an ACOG site, come to the resupply by the construction
north.
crates.
Contact's down.
Do we need to have OQT training for it? Because there's.
Infantry squad, direct east, same
No,
hill.
it's a side up.
Infantry squad, direct east, same hill. Oh boy, double squad.
Eyes on.
Holy sh!
Oh, yeah.
That's the ANPVQ, right?
Direction of contact?
Huh?
Bearing
disconnected.
115.
In the inventories. Huh.
Copy.
Fire from the west. Sounds like a marksman. Searching for him.
Unjam it.
Unjam. Got him. Marksman team. North-northwest. Right as the rocks start. Bearing 287. One down.
I gotta head back to Billings.
Are any of you OQT qualified? You can use the M2010.
Gord
Yep.
is.
Marksman team is
Grab one
gone.
from the crate if you so desired.
There's a crate just chilling to our west, probably 150 meters out. Not sure what the hell that is. Hi, bromines. Hi, bromines.
Can you describe the crate?
Same one we got.
I'll inquire HQ. Thanks for letting me know.
What? HQ is
qualified.
No, hell nah. But the gun that I was using didn't want to work for some reason.
Now, when using an ACOG, make sure that you're using it to scout around for enemies. That marksman team was really only visible to me after I had pointed the ACOG towards them. Well, let's increase our view range to compensate as well.
Yeah, we got one guy out to the east.
Where?
All contacts east seem to be down. Good job.
Also, do note that since this is a side mission and it was called in that you can use an ACOG as long as you're OQT certified, I am OQT certified even though I'm a medic. So there you go.
Fives, I want you to transition to the west. We haven't had contact there yet, and I feel a flank coming about.
But even in these kinds of situations, do please follow the basic medical training. Do not assume that as a medic, that since I have
Someone
an
watching
ACOG
the
now,
north.
that I should be online and in
You want me to
combat.
copy that?
No. That should never be a thing.
That's
squad
correct.
in the
Just
smoke
keep
to the
a
east.
passive eye on it.
Copy, man.
2
Say
squads,
again.
east smoke.
What was the position of those squads?
East smoke. Reference
100.
smoke.
Copy that.
Linking out.
Remember to always look at the far game in maps like these, especially this specific map, which I think is Takistan. I'm not really sure. But since I have a very high view range, I'm looking towards the south, trying to catch that vehicle off guard before he comes in. Or trying to catch that truck full of troops coming in. There's an entire another squad, shift right 150 meters of smoke. They're behind the hill, so you might not be able to see them. But there's about 9 of them lit up.
Oh, eyes on.
Mark tracers are accurate to enemy squad position.
Where's you gonna put it? Sorry.
In your butt.
Evan,
What?
go check on,
But you've been shot.
no, I'm fine.
But you've been shot, and your leadership, so you have priority.
No. I want
Yes.
Let me be a hero. HQ, please say again.
Whoa, that's about 6.
Ugh. Got dust in the mouse. Good job, Rock. You haven't been shot this entire operation.
Contacts direct east on the ridgeline.
So this is a good opportunity to reference your time rotation. As a medic, I'm trying to shuffle.
Evans.
Yes.
It's
just
a
do
low
a low
priority, but I can
PKM
use
fire.
Epi. Where was
Low
the
PKM
Where?
to the southeast. Like right at the hash mark of the east.
copy? I'll swing over to that side.
Oh, he's dead now.
We could use you up in the tower.
You can use me or Evans up in the tower.
Evans.
I've been hit, Rock's been hit, Rock's been hit.
Damn it, Rock.
I'll stabilize Rock. I'll stabilize Rock. Get out of the tower. Get out of the tower.
Smoke and contact north.
Just jump the wall. Just jump the railing.
Yeah.
That sounds really close.
Hey, danger close.
Fives, get the entrance. Bromine, switch back to your rifle.
Yeah, I have grenades too, asshole. They're within 5 meters of the wall. They're literally on the wall outside.
Red team, go out the wall together.
What? Go hunting with my pistol.
Whew.
Yeah.
Whew. Bromines, do you have a grenade?
You have friendlies outside the wall.
Body to my right.
May the spirit of Dark Void Boy guide my pistol.
Grenade out. No map, wait.
But remember that grenade range I was talking to you about?
Watch where you're shooting.
Point it off to the north.
That was an enemy, my friend.
No, someone threw a grenade. I called it out.
Well, that's aggressive.
Sorry, I didn't mean to yell.
I didn't even see.
Don't worry about it.
PKM. Ooh,
Get back inside the wall. Perimeter's
East. More shit. East.
I'm on it.
I'm on it.
Scanning.
Evans, I'm gonna be above you.
Why?
Out of the tower.
Shoot people?
Yeah, you're good to go in the tower now. You were taking
I
RPG
see him
fire,
now.
so I was like,
He's buried.
Got it. It's the same squad. Southeast side of the ridge.
Bearing 90.
Bromines is fine. Fives is fine. Rock, you're not a hamster. Get down from there.
We've got a blind spot.
Yeah, but now they can shoot you from every spot.
keep hitting them, Corin. You're getting them good.
RPG!
Corin, relocate somewhere else besides that tower, please.
Rock, would you let me stitch you?
on the tree line.
What's that?
Contacts east, bearing
Just
90.
stop running away
There we
from
go.
me. Just...
RPG.
Here comes the thunk.
You say here comes.
Okay, you're stitched. Okay, bye.
Oh, he's dead.
Yes.
My head hurts.
You've lost a lot of blood.
No, you've lost a lot of blood. You're supposed to say no. You.
Oh yeah,
you're supposed
guys,
to go back and
due
forth.
west on the hill.
Nope. I'm supposed to go, I'm just supposed to give you a transfusion and keep running around not getting shot. Done. Bye.
Furry, I need some ammo, bud.
Got another marksman
Yeah, I'm on
team.
my way.
Got another marksman team, west-northwest, same distance up the hill. It's like 500 meters. Oh, wow. First shot, only shot. One shot kill. Got it on tape.
Rock's been hit.
Oh, wow.
Watch out,
Oh,
grenade. What? Were we getting hit by enemy grenades? They're
Lincoln Belt.
south. They're close south, lobbing grenades over the wall. Stay
Stay away from.
center of the
Well, that's embarrassing.
It's close.
Oh, God.
That way.
I'm tearing them up.
Yo, the ammo cache is going off. Oh, fuck. Oh, Bromies, run! Bromies, run! Oh, my God.
down south on the Hesco Barrow. Motherfucker.
So I'm going to use this point to go over what happens if you take dramatic trauma like I have. You want to
You can't get to the
tourniquet
radio box.
everything that you can. First, if you only have 2 tourniquets, what you want to do is you want to tourniquet whichever area has more damage to it. In my case, it looks like all I have are medium cuts everywhere, so it's just kind of even. But in the case where, you know, I only had 2 tourniquets and they were all medium cuts either way, just go with it. Just kind of like pick something. And then just start treating your chest and your head. I should have checked my head first to make sure there wasn't any kind of large wound because my torso only had a minor, so that's not really that extreme. Yep, not that extreme. So, yeah, that was shitty.
Evans!
Evans!
What?
I need...
I'm back. What's going on? Oh my god!
That's what's going on.
Yo, you need to start bandaging yourself too.
Evans, I'm gonna bandage you while you bandage him.
I'm all tourniqueted. Just start bandaging yourself so that way I can get you back
I
online.
don't need to be bandaged, fool.
Someone tell HQ to get that shit out of there.
I don't...
Or just let it burn out.
We need to get eyes back up.
That seems a
Have we
little
cleared
cheating.
those guys around the wall, or are they still out there?
HQ, be advised, Widow 1-1's ammo cache has exploded. The camp is compromised, but we are still holding. Need the medical. Oh my god.
Oh no, no.
Oh my god.
Alright, Zach, you should be fine.
Thank you. I wanted to get away from
this is
that.
not good.
Oh, it's not good, but I'm still fighting.
We got more contacts coming in south on the tree line.
What's up?
Said you're like about to pass out.
Oh, good.
If anyone's not getting medic, I need you guys to get on the line.
Don't shoot, I'm right here.
The problem with getting on the line is getting hit by the fucking ammo caches exploding.
Very important. For now, because we're fighting, keep the tourniquets on. But
Alright.
make sure that I don't leave them on you too long, because then you'll pass out. Oh, he is? Okay.
Evans, need your help. Thanks, no.
Yeah, I was kind of standing on the ammo cache when it went off, so give me a second.
Okay, I'll stabilize him then, so that you don't have to do your job.
Now, if you want to do something, you will need to give me surgery, because I can't seal
We
these
got more
wounds.
guys to the southwest.
Well, just hold 1 second, I gotta stop him.
Oh, RPGs from the southwest. That's not that good.
Evans, come here, I can search for you.
If that RPG shoots me in the butt, Fives, I blame you.
Okay, Evans, don't move for the next 30 seconds.
I'm moving.
Alright, don't go out of animation for the next 30 seconds.
One more southwest.
To the west.
Hey, Fives.
Yeah, what's up?
Can you rotate to the right real quick so I can get your interaction menu?
Yes, sir.
More. Alright, you're good.
Thanks, man.
Give me a only if you're not green.
You cut off there.
I'm dying.
I'm fixing you.
Alright.
Corn is red on ammo.
Alright, I'm gonna go get you ammo. No, I'm not. Wait one.
Foe's getting him ammo. I got that handled. Foe's ammo all the way down though.
I would really love that noise to go away.
Rock is amber.
Oh, no.
Ouch!
I just got surgery.
I got him.
If you can just throw your grenades on the southwest side of the Hesco.
I am awake. I mean, you can drop me, I'm conscious.
Bromines is down.
Is this the one and only time I'm supposed to let loose on the
Get off
grenade?
the HQ barrier. Evans, get to the 1-story green. I'm gonna bring you bromines.
Get fucked, you asshole. Hurry, don't expose yourself like that.
I'm not sure if I went down from blood loss or...
Holy shit!
Jesus, dude.
Woo! Look at those 2 nasty wounds.
You okay?
Yeah, I guess. I have 2 huge wounds in my head.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just gonna tourniquet my leg and then start treating bromians.
Okay. Let me see.
Close the door. Close the door. Close the door. Close the door.
Hold on, bromians. I'm gonna throw tourniquets on him so he doesn't, you know, die in my arms. Be dramatic. Oh, look,
Contact's
it's
coming into the camp.
Hold on. That doesn't mean you get to move.
Yep, no, I'm just getting my head.
Okay, alright. I'm back.
I have to go outside and help. Babs, we gotta. Alright.
Good job, bromians.
Yeah.
Good job.